It's Kenny and AJ again with Indian Motorcycle, and in this video we're going to talk about the navigation portion of your touchscreen system. So AJ, let's get to the navigation system. Let's hit that button on the far right-hand side of the screen, and you'll see the icon on the bottom right is going to be a search indicator. In this case, we're going to navigate to where your Indian Motorcycle is made, in Spirit Lake, Iowa. The first time you input an address, we're going to need to select a country. You'll see as AJ enters the address, the first couple letters are going to bring up an intuitive search or a suggestion to where we think you might be going, the United States. Now we're going to go into Iowa. You see AJ again is going to type in a few letters, and if we hit the button on the far right-hand side, it's going to bring you a drop-down list of all of the suggestions in that area. Here, Iowa. Next, we need to input our city. In this case, Spirit Lake. Now, once that city comes up, we're going to select the bottom right-hand button, and it's going to ask you if you want to navigate to the city center or a specific address. In this case, we want to go to a specific address, the factory in Spirit Lake. When inputting that address, we need to put our street name first and then the house number. Once we've found that address, we need to select that bottom right-hand button again. Then it's going to ask us if we want to calculate route. On this screen, you'll see that we have a couple of options for our route selection. We have our fastest, shortest, and most scenic routes. You can also pick a few options to avoid. After we've selected those options, we can confirm using the bottom right icon, and it's going to take us to our destination. On this screen, you'll see that we have a few more options. Starting at the top left, you'll see that that icon is going to indicate our next turn. It's going to give us our estimated time of arrival at our final destination. It also gives us our estimated distance to our final destination. Moving around the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that if we hit this button here, it's going to give us our turn-by-turn directions all the way to that final destination. Our next button gives us the option to control the volume of our navigation through our headset or through our speakers. We can mute it completely, turn it down, set a medium volume, or turn it all the way up. We can change the way that this map looks. We can do a north up, a route up, or a 3D. You'll see the plus or minus sign on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. That gives us the option to zoom in or out, keeping our icon centered on the screen. We don't need to touch that plus or minus all the time. We can pinch to zoom or drag the map if we want to look around us or see what's around at any time. But hitting that map button again, so changing north up, route up, or 3D is going to recenter our icon and bring us right back on route. Using our left-hand switch cube, the up and down arrows is another way that we can zoom in and out of our map. The up button is going to zoom in, and the down button is going to zoom out. So at the top right-hand corner of that screen, AJ, you're going to see that we have an X. If we select that X, it gives us the option to pause or cancel our current navigation. So let's say that we don't have a specific address in mind. We just want to go to a point of interest. Well, here, we have a few point of interest populated already in the display. Let's go back to that navigation menu and select POI. And here we have a few different categories. Let's select the closest gas station. Now, once we've selected that gas station, we're going to select confirm and calculate route. And it brings us right to that destination. So if you go back into the navigation menu, you'll see that in addition to an address and POI, we also have history, favorites, and gas stations called out specifically as a category. So let's go into history, and you'll see all of the places that you've navigated to in the past. What if we have a frequent address that we end up going to quite often? Well, we can program that as a favorite. In your history, you'll see that you have a little heart icon right beside that address. If we tap that icon, that address now becomes a favorite. Now, once you select that favorite, again, it's going to ask you to calculate route, confirm, and now you're on your way. So in the navigation menu, it's not necessary to touch the display to make all of these interactions. we can move through the menus using our hand controls. So if we select our right-hand trigger, from the map menu, it's going to bring us right into the navigation menu. From here, we're going to select our up and down arrows on our left-hand switch cube. It's going to change our selection wherever our cursor is highlighted. Here we're changing from POI, gas station, history, and favorites. Once we land on our desired choice, we're going to select our right trigger again. It's going to bring us into categories. Here it's going to scroll through the categories column and change from automotive, business, or whichever category you want. Once we land on that category, again, our right trigger moves us into those specific addresses. Our up and down arrow is going to change those addresses, and then we're going to confirm where we want to go. Right-hand trigger again is going to calculate route. Now we're on our way. That's all for now. Continue to watch the Indian Motorcycle YouTube page for more how-to videos.